on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Expect the unexpected.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented by The Sportscast.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk with Victor Arocho and Byron Jones. And here's your host, Victor Arocho. All right, live from Miami, Fort Lauderdale in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented to you by the Sportscast. It is August 8th, 2024. If you haven't yet, please subscribe in all our channels, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Apple Podcast. You can also listen to us on your smart speaker. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave a rating and a review. It will help us out tremendously. We're also on online radio. You can listen to us there. You can also visit thesportscast.net. Also, follow us on X and Instagram at the Sportscast1, and check out our app, the Sportscast for iOS. This is Santiago Leon. I am in for Victor Arocho. He is on assignment, and we got Byron Jones. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
How was the weather up there in Philly?
It's pouring down, raining. I got a chance to stand in the rain for an hour and a half with the 10, 11-year-olds with football. We don't cancel football unless there's lightning strikes. So if the light hits the ground, we go inside. But if it's pouring down buckets, what it was doing, I'm still standing outside.
With the mud, right?
In the mud. And we have goose droppings all over the field. For some reason, that field, reason on that field, I mean, it's all over the place. I mean, goose feathers, goose everything all over the place. So you have
we
to
got the return of Kevin Tyre. Welcome back, Kevin.
Thank you for having me. It's
been a bit since last time we saw you. I think April was the last time I saw you in Miami. We'll talk about the Dolphins later a little bit later in the show. But before we begin, we got a word from our sponsors. Are you ready to accelerate your wealth and secure your family's legacy? Introducing VictorArocho.com, your cash acceleration insurance expert. At VictorArocho.com, we bring accountability to wealth creation inspired by Proverbs 13:22. Your family's financial future matters to us. Experience the power of debt-free life, our innovative insurance solution that not only protects but builds cash value over time. As your cash value grows, say goodbye to debt incrementally and watch your savings soar for a worry-free retirement, all without spending any extra money. With debt-free life, you're not just securing your future, you are creating a lasting legacy for your family, achieving financial freedom and retiring with tax-favored income. Visit VictorArocho.com for more information. That's VictorArocho.com, where accountability meets prosperity. Your greatest asset is you. Go VictorArocho.com. Go ahead and visit. And if you want to get your wealth, if you're an NFL player or a rookie, go to VictorArocho.com to secure your wealth because that money runs dry sometimes. A week ago was the NFL Hall of Fame game. Also, this past weekend was the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And a few of the names that got inducted was Dwight Freeney, Randy Gradisher, Evan Hester, Andre Johnson, Misty McMichael, wife of Stephen Michael, Julius Peppers, and Patrick Willis. You guys, your thoughts over this year's class?
It was a good class. Go ahead.
Hiram. No, I was saying some of those guys I don't remember. I don't know. Devin Hester, Julius Peppers.
Come on, youngster.
I know, right? I remember these guys: Julius Pepper, Devin Hester, Andre Johnson, McMichaels. I remember him. He was the '85 Bears team, right?
Yep.
McMichaels.
Yep. Mongo.
Yeah. think those are the ones I remember. But all of them are deserving, for their different positions and different positions that they played. So it was a pretty good class, but not compared to last year's class with Zach Thomas going in.
You can't beat that class. Mr. Jones, what are your thoughts over this year's class?
It was a good class. I'm still cry about, Devin Hester, being the first kick returner, punt returner to get in, because in my opinion, and it's my opinion only, that Brian Mitchell should have been the first guy. He has 23,000 total yards. He's number 2 behind Jerry Rice as far as total yardage. So he should be in consideration next year or when, but he should have been the first guy. And the only guy we left out was Randy Gradishar. Was a great player, man, for Denver Broncos for a long time. All-American Ohio State. He was a beast. He was a beast when he played. And, it's a shame, like, him and McMichael, those two guys, that it took them so long, to get in, when they should have been, with the case with a lot of them, taken 30, 40 years, since they played, and not McMichael's case, but, Gradishar, for them to get in the Hall of Fame when, they really deserved it a long time ago. And it's a couple other players that, that same thing happened to and isn't happening right now.
Something about that. Kevin, who do you think is still missing that will eventually, or hopefully, they'll get inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Well, I'm going to go with the hometown team. I'm going to say Mark Clayton and Duper.
What year did he play?
Mark Clayton and Mark Duper.
When was that? I mean, I'm really young, by the way.
Oh, Mark Clayton, Mark Duper. That's Dan Marino. That was his ace receivers.
Wow, I don't remember it. Huh?
Yeah, Duper was the speedster, and Clayton was like the possession guy.
The Marx brothers.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, there you go. Those guys are still missing. How about the Giants, Byron? Anyone that's still in the radar?
Well, the next year we have the great Eli Manning is on the radar as far as next year being eligible. It's 5 years, so he should get in first ballot. But we're going to see if the sports writers are going to be a hater with him.
That's a big debate.
I don't know.
This is all the debate I got. Jim Plunkett. Jim Plunkett won 2 Super Bowls. He played for crappy teams, his whole career. He has subpar numbers, as far as, touchdown to interception rate. But when on the biggest stage, he won 2 Super Bowls. And you're talking about a guy that, he injured his shoulder while he was playing. They threw him on a scrap heap, and did all these things. And just because, he doesn't have a winning record, he doesn't have great numbers, he won 2 Super Bowls, and he'll probably never get in, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but he deserves to be in there because of what he did on the field. I personally think he should. Yeah.
A couple of names out there still wondering. Eli Manning, I for sure heard that. There was a debate a couple of years ago on the Sportscast if he would be on first ballot. So we don't know if that will happen. But I think with this show, I think it might, for sure boost him for that. So,
of course, Eli.
I don't know about that.
You don't think so, Kevin?
I don't know. He
2 Super Bowls.
He won 2 Super Bowls. He did win 2 Super Bowls.
That's right.
But they didn't win. They didn't win much with him, did it?
No, well, his record I think is 115 and 115. He 500. Thank God he won. Thank God he won the last game because he would have been on 500. Right. But they won the last game.
Pressure.
And, there was no pressure.
Yeah, but he's a Manning, so he will be going in.
Of course.
Politics.
Yeah, but look at his numbers. I think he threw for almost 60,000 or close to 60,000 yards. He threw for over 300 touchdowns. He's got the numbers.
Yeah.
And on the biggest stage, what did he do? He beat Brady when they were going for, the 18-0, trying to be undefeated.
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that.
And me too. And then he beat him, a second time. So, everybody knows that Brady's a GOAT. He would have 9 if it wasn't for, Eli Manning.
Yeah.
So I personally think he should go on first ballot, but, you never know, he's going to have haters because he's a Manning.
That's true. That's true.
Always debatable. Anyways, other quarterback today, big news, retire. Former Eagles quarterback Nick Foles retired, and here is his video, his farewell video.
It's crazy to be in this moment, looking at this camera, officially announcing my retirement from the NFL. From the first day I was born, my dad put a football in my hand. He must have known something, because that became a dream of mine since I've been a kid, to play in the NFL, and I will be forever grateful for that. It's been such a special privilege to play for Philadelphia, St. Louis, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Chicago, and Indianapolis. To the fans of the NFL around the world, thank you for making the game so special. Y'all are the ones that bring the energy in the stadiums. Thank you. Specifically, thank you to the Philadelphia Eagles fans. Thank you for all your support from 2012 when I was drafted to 2017 when I came back. You truly made playing in Philadelphia the most special experience in my football career. To all the coaches I had in my career, thank you for everything. Thank you for the correction. Thank you for the teaching. Thank you for the uplifting. Thank you for being there for me throughout my entire career. To my teammates, to that bond we have in the locker room, going to work every day, being on the practice field, being in the weight room, being in the steam room, being in the sauna, having those conversations, that bond that lasts forever. I want to specifically thank Athletes First, Justin Schulman, my agent, and Austin Lyman, my marketing agent. I'm truly grateful for everything. I want to give a special thanks to my wife, Tori. You're the rock of the household. Thank you for guiding our family through the transitions, the conversations we've had before games, week of games. I want to give a special thank you for that. I want to thank my mom and dad. Y'all instilled in me a work ethic that took me to the NFL. The character traits y'all have, the hard work y'all have. Thank you for being that example for me. I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to live a childhood dream. I've grown so much in my faith in this time. As I step away from this game, I want to cheer on the next generation of NFL players. Go out there each and every day and give it everything you have. As this chapter closes, another one opens. I'm truly grateful for my time in the NFL. I get to be a husband and a father. I have 3 kids at home that I get to be around all the time. I get to coach their sports, I get to be at their sports, and I also get to help them with homework, get to help them through tantrums, get to be there each and every day. So I'm truly excited for it. This isn't the end. I know I'll see you soon. Thank y'all.
Holds 11 seasons. He said he played with the Eagles, Rams, Chiefs, Eagles again, Jaguars, Chicago, and then Indianapolis. Mr. Jones, you're in the Philadelphia area. What are people saying about Nick Foles retiring?
Some of these people around here, they're very interesting and special. Around here, the things I've seen and heard that they want him in the Hall of Fame. That's what they were talking about, around here. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. He played, when Carson Wentz got hurt, late in the season. I think it was like 3 games or whatever it was toward the end of the season.
ACL tear.
And then he carried them, in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl, with the Philly, the Philly special, and all this other stuff. And, and they should appreciate that. Just let it go. But as far as like putting them in the Hall of Fame, it's like, come on, really? He did his job. He got paid a lot of money to be a backup quarterback, and congratulations, that you'd be able to sit at home and do sports with your kids and all this other stuff. And got out in one piece. So thank you very much, Mr. Nick Foles.
Kevin, what are your thoughts over Nick Foles retiring, and any special memory that you have of him?
Oh yeah, his run, that's what made him a lot of money. That run, that last 3 games, like Byron said, in the Super Bowl, made him a lot of money. And I think he was a career backup
for the most part. Yeah,
career backup. So he had a backup quarterback in the NFL. That's a pretty good life. It's a pretty good life. So I'm happy for him and his family. That he gets to spend time with his kids, his wife. NFL, he's probably early 30s, has a whole, hopefully a whole, exciting long life, for him and his family. So
he's actually mid-35. He's mid-30s. He's 35 years old.
Okay.
There you go.
They're still young.
went to Michigan State, then transferred to Arizona, and then got drafted by the Eagles. Was there for 2 years, and then he was a journeyman. Came back to the Eagles in 17 and 18. I think that's when they won the Super Bowl, right, Byron?
Yeah.
And then boom, quite a run. Obviously, he couldn't find his footing. He was a good backup quarterback. His last team was the Colts. I don't remember much of him playing. He hasn't played for a year, so I guess he couldn't find a team.
Right.
He was a big quarterback. I remember that. I do know he's about 6'6". He wasn't a little guy. He had some size to him. Yeah, he was a big dude.
It's quite something. So, Nick Foles, we definitely congratulate your service to Super Bowl MVP. So another era over Hall of Fame. Like Byron says, not really convinced.
I don't think so. Man.
I don't think so. Good guy, but not just there. All right. So training camp this past week or two, a little longer. Today, actually, yesterday, the Giants and Lions were fined each $200,000 for multiple fights at joint practice this week. Don't tell Victor, $200,000. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And all NFL teams were reminded in a memo a month ago that fighting and unprofessional contact at joint practices would not be tolerated. The league has put an increased emphasis on keeping these get-together cleans this year. 200,000. Mr. Jones, there's been a lot of fights, not just that training camp. There's been a couple of them, but what are your thoughts over this situation here?
Well, the first one is the biggest one. Daniel Jones was involved in the first one where something happened with one of his guys, and he decided to go to his defense, and he jumps. The worst thing this guy could do with a knee injury that he had is to running the big old scrums or whatever you want to call it, and you can see the coaches running over. One of the coaches went and grabs him around the waist to pull him out of the pop because he can get hurt. Very easily. Trip over somebody fall his leg or whatever. But Daniel is a quarterback. Stay where the quarterback should be. There you go, my man. Stay where your quarterback should be. And let the offensive lineman and the defensive lineman take care of that mess. He shouldn't be involved in no scrums with anybody. And then the second one was involving Malik Neighbors, their rookie wide receiver, where I guess he was putting it on him all day, during practice, the Lions. And the picture I saw, he's running back. Well, he's going back to the huddle, and he whops the guy up inside the head on the way by. So this guy was like, whoa, we ain't having that. Next they was going at it, and they looked like they almost got the best of him a little bit. But he backed up, but he started the second one. But you figure you're in training camp, you practice against your own team every day. You get it's hot. You're tired, you're going through all this stuff, and now you've got a different color jersey, a different guy to hit, and now you want to take, you can take whatever aggressions you have on somebody else instead of the same guy you've been beating up for 2-3 weeks. So it is what it is, but Daniel Jones doesn't need to be involved in the fight.
Especially coming from an injury, which he set to start week 1, right? Yeah. That's interesting.
And then watching Drew Lock tonight, it was a little brutal watching him. Now I see why he's second string quarter. It was interesting.
Kevin, you've been to the training camp for Miami this year, or have you?
Not this year. I haven't been there this year. But all these fights, they gotta bring that stuff, reel that in, man. Because I don't know which player, but they took their helmet off and swung it at another guy, And that brings back memories of the Cleveland guy, Garrett.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, if you hit that guy in the head with that helmet, I mean, he could have killed somebody. That could have been bad. That guy could have died. And they got to put a stop to this. I understand like what you're saying, Byron. I understand. They're practicing against their teammates, and it's hot, and all that testosterone and whatever is building up, and then you get another team, and these guys like to talk smack, get up under your skin, and it's on, you know what I mean? But they need to just keep finding them.
But you figure, okay, they're finding them $200,000 each. Most of these training camps, they're paying. You got to pay, to get in there. Right. And $200,000 is like probably a little change, compared to with some of these teams, because I know what the Eagles just had like an open camp the other day. They had 50,000 people in that stadium for practice last week. 50,000.
50,000. That's almost a full stadium.
Yeah,
That's
packed.
They're desperate. They're desperate for some football.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, like, we have like 48 kids like on our team. We only had 10 because all the kids went to the Eagles practice.
By the way, the Giants are up. The Giants are up 14-3 right now. Preseason.
That must be DeVito must be, and Tommy Cutlass is playing now.
Yeah, I gotta check who's starting. But go ahead, Mr. Jones. Finish that thought.
It's just, I don't. It's just that $200,000. Really, that's nothing. For somebody, if they're charging what, $25 or $30, whatever they're charging to get into the practice, then you got to pay the parking, and you get $20,000 or $30,000. A lot of people show up a lot of these practices, so the $200,000, that's like a drop in the bucket.
Just so you know, the Dolphins practices and the parking is free.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah,
that's why. So the Giants, they charge their training camp to be able to see it. Right?
I know back in the day they didn't. Now I don't know. Who knows? But still, you still got to get in your car, drive up, North Jersey, $13 to go up the Turnpike, and it gets to be kind of pricey up in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Victor Arocho just liked this video, so he's probably watching this right now. By the way,
what's up, Vic?
Victor's probably driving up back home to Fort Lauderdale. He's in Miami, so he's probably driving up, seeing it. But anyways, yeah, preseason fights and everything. Let's go into Byron's depth chart that you wrote up this week, and I want you explain it. What's going on with this depth chart? It's preseason. You're seeing some players that you never seen before because they're probably trying to make the team, but Mr. Jones, explain what's going on here.
What's going on is this is the first unofficial depth chart for the Giants. Pretty much this is what they have in camp right now, and probably after today's game, or probably next week or a week after, that's when they're going to start cutting down to whatever the next number is. But a lot of these guys that are on here, the camp bodies, they're not going to be here when the regular season starts, when they cut down. To the 53.
Is there any way to enlarge it? Excuse me, I'm sorry. Is there any way to enlarge it? So
let me try and enlarge it. There's it's pretty much all over the sheet, but I could point to this part at least.
Okay. And the most notable thing, I don't know if you guys remember Isaiah Simmons from Clemson. Mm-hmm. He was the ninth player picked in the draft for
really good.
Cardinal. Yeah, his normal position is linebacker. He's like 6'4", 6'5", like 230, 200. And they're going to have him playing a nickelback position because they're trying to find a spot for him, because the kid is that talented. He's fast, and they don't know if he's physical enough to play linebacker. But the new defensive coordinator is figuring that this position now, the nickelback, is going to be the best position, because you can do a lot of things with him. He can rush off the edge. He can cover wide receivers in the slot as big as he is, and that's new for them. And then flipping on my offensive side, the unnotable guy that has disappeared, right tackle, our number 7 pick 2 years ago, Evan Neal from Alabama. He's hurt again. So he was
right tackle, you said?
Yeah, right tackle, yes.
Okay, I see Jermaine and all that.
Jermaine, that's the kid that the guy they got from the Raiders as far as the free agent.
I heard he's good.
Yeah, because guess what? I'm seeing that's his spot now, because Evan Neal is still battling through with the ankle injury he had toward the end of last year.
So like his background story, he's injury prone. He's not been how many games does he play a season?
It's not that he's injury prone. He sucks. I'm just gonna put it. Yeah,
Wow.
dude,
As honest as you can get.
yeah, I thought. I'm sorry. I thought, when he came out of Alabama, he's an All-American. He played left tackle, he played left guard, he played right tackle, and that, once he gets to the NFL, they're gonna plug him in at right tackle. They're gonna have bookends, with Andrew Thomas on the left side, and and the offensive line is gonna be great. But for some reason, this dude can't get out of his stance fast enough to block the edge rusher. You figure in practice he had Will Anderson and Dallas Turner, 2 top 10 picks at Alabama to practice against every day. So my thing is, how did the Giants not do a little bit more research to figure out that this guy is just not fast enough to play right tackle in the NFL? That's the only problem I got. And he's just been bad.
Maybe they might need to move him to guard. Maybe
At Alabama, that was his best position. Me personally, I'm not an evaluator or whatever, but watching him the years he played at Alabama, that was his best position, was left guard. But because he's so tall,
Right.
he's 6'7". He's not. That's a lot of dude, to put at a guard position, and then the footwork is different. When you're playing right tackle or as guard, it's completely different footwork.
Right.
And by him being that tall, it's like playing that position is like you're fighting in a telephone booth. It's a smaller area, and it'd probably be good for him. But it's just the fact that he's hurt. He has to get on the field, because I don't want to label the poor guy, and it's not up to me to label him a bust. But we already had one of them from Miami, which was Eric Flowers a while back. That was just as bad, even worse than this.
Kevin knows about him.
I remember him.
He was bad, man. Eric Williams, man, the Flowers. Oh man, that guy was bad with his eyes, man. It was brutal.
Sometimes the game doesn't translate from college to pro. It's a lot of guys
coaching too, coaching and players.
Yeah, because you're playing against top tier every week.
Yeah, but when you have
every week, it ain't like, okay, I play LSU and then we play Ole Miss, something like that.
Yeah, but when you're like a scout, if you're a professional scout, that's your job. You're going to see this guy. You're going to go see film of him. You're going to see film of his junior year, his sophomore year, his freshman year. See if there's any improvement. And you're going to these guys are being tracked for years. 2 or 3 years. While they're in college. So you figure they would have enough tape on them to know that. Well, you know what? I don't think it's going to translate to the NFL, and that. But it happens all the time where the guy is all world, in college, and then they get to the NFL. It's like, damn, what happened to this dude?
I know, right? Yeah.
And Nevin Neal is starting to be, damn, what happened to this guy?
I think it's not just on the field. They have a lot of other things going on off the field, and now they got money. You got family coming at you. You got all
drama,
the outside trappings. So I think it's a lot. It's it's the guys who can deal with that outside stuff and still focus on what they got to do on the field.
Yeah, but if you're getting paid millions of dollars to do this job, you don't have to go to school. You ain't got to do this. You ain't got to do all the other extra stuff that when you were in college. And all you have to focus on, keep your mind right, keep your body right, stay out of trouble, and just do your job.
Yeah, but you're young. You're young too, You've all been that age. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I know. I was one of them. Yeah, I know. But
anything else from this list, Byron? We want to talk about
Malik Neighbors is lighting it up in practice.
Yes, I saw some clips on X. He looks pretty good, Byron, to be honest.
Yes, and then Allen Robinson. Remember him with Pittsburgh Steelers? He was a receiver with them. He's trying to get a job with the Giants. Bryce Ford Wheaton, keep an eye on him. He's a big receiver. He's like 6'6", like 230. He tore up his knee last year, and it takes like a year to get you back to where you need to be. But keep an eye on him because he's got a lot of potential.
And how about John Giles?
I don't know nothing about this guy. That was the first time I saw him today. I was like, John, who is this guy? I was like, yeah.
He sneaked into training camp.
Pretty much. And then they're going to have a battle at tight end. They have Daniel Bellinger is, support starter supposedly. Lawrence Cager is going to be pretty good. He's more like a receiving tight. He's not a great blocker, but the one they really want, to come in and step up is Theo Johnson, the 4th-round pick from Penn State.
Right, and they're replacing that one guy that just retired.
Who?
Who? Yeah, exactly. He's a rapper now, isn't he?
Darren Waller. Yeah.
Darren Waller.
That guy.
He was a bust for you guys, anyway.
Oh boy, was he a bust!
I mean, he was the real deal over there with the Raiders, man.
He was a beast. Yeah, he got to the Giants, man. All of a sudden, he couldn't run, couldn't catch, hamstring hurt, wife left him, all kind of stuff happened.
Yeah,
all happens in New York, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can't come to New York, man. You got to get your mind right, man. You just can't come up to New York and just act up.
Right.
Well, there you have it. You can check out the Hev chart on the website. The sportscast.net is posted there if you want to check it out. Place a comment, or would you agree, what you disagree, and see what happens. It's only week 1 of the preseason, right, Byron? Things can change after tonight completely.
Yeah, especially when they start cutting down to, I don't know what the number is now, but when they start cutting down, it's going to be a lot of people unemployed. It's going to be a little smaller next time you see this, probably in a week or two.
And they have a chance to go into the practice squad, though, probably.
Yes, that too. That's a good money, too.
$8,000 a week, I heard.
I'll take that all day, any day.
Up to 5 now, I think it is.
Is it 5? Okay.
Yeah, I've heard more, but I'm not sure of the actual number.
Interesting enough. All right, guys, let's go to our commercial break. At the other side, we'll talk about Tyreek Hill and Kevin's thoughts over that. We'll leave it on a cliffhanger there. Introducing NumList, your ultimate solution for effortless list creation and management. Whether you're organizing your grocery shopping, planning a project, or keeping track of tasks, NumList makes it simple. With just a few taps, you can create lists quickly and efficiently without any hassle. Store all your lists in one place, accessible anytime, anywhere. Keep track of the total number of items in each list so you never lose count again. Categorize your lists and items seamlessly for easy retrieval. Enjoy a clean, user-friendly interface that makes list management a breeze. Download NumList today and experience the easiest way to create, store, and manage your list. Check out NumList on the iOS App Store, Apple App Store. Big news for the Miami Dolphins. A week ago, Tua's got his contract restructured, which we'll hear about Kevin's thoughts on that. And then Tyreek Hill got his contract restructured. It is worth $90 million over the next 3 years with $65 million guaranteed. Kevin, Tyree has been a huge contract for Tua and Hill. What are your thoughts over Miami's business negotiations?
First of all, I'm happy for all of them,
but positive.
Oh yeah,
positive outlook.
Man, these guys are one play from ending their career, and they deserve the money. I think I have no problem with these players getting that money. I was at a seminar on Saturday, and Dan Marino was the keynote speaker, and he actually revealed that his first contract was 7 years, $2.5 million, because he was I think he was the 27th pick, first round, and he hadn't proven himself, but of course, once 2 years in, he turned into what he was going to be, and then they gave him the big contract. But and one of the guys from the audience asked him how he felt about these guys making that money, the money that they're making now, because he made a career best of $50 million, and Tua's getting 53 for 1 year. So he said, I'm happy for the guys, make as much money as you can, because the owners are making it. So so I'm happy for the guys, but they got to perform. It's a lot of pressure.
Mr. Jones, I know you were a little bit skeptical with Tua, but what do you think about Tyreek Hill's restructured contract?
did they restructure it because he wasn't the top paid guy?
Yes.
That he felt a certain kind of way because he's the number one guy, and his agent, hey, my guy is this is the guy, so he should be top compensated as far as the top big guy. So we need to restructure because they never say anything about him wanting complain about this or restructure. You never heard a word about anything with him. And then my other question, Mr. Kevin, there, Waddle gotten paid.
Yeah, he got paid first. Not like that though. He didn't get paid like that. But the Tyreek Hill contract is there's no hit against the salary cap. I think it is. They just guaranteed him more money. So he's
$63 million.
Yeah, he has the most. He's averages the
55.
most guaranteed money or something more than Jefferson.
My other question: how old is he? 30 or 31? How old is he?
He's 30. They give you 31 this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to give that kind of money to a receiver that's on the other side of 30, and usually sometimes they start slowing down a little bit.
He hasn't dropped off. I mean, even if he drops off a level, he's still gonna be in the top 5. If he falls off a level, he's gonna be a top 5.
That's
So currently, now AJ Brown's the top paid, then Amon St. Brown, then Tyreek Hill.
I thought it was Jefferson.
Let me double check because I
think Jefferson.
Yeah, it might be Jefferson.
As
right.
what he gets per year, he makes 35 per year. I think he's the top
Top-paying receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson is at 110 million. Then Tyreek Hill be number 2, I think. Then AJ Brown. So, and Waddle's 76 million.
They get paid. Get paid.
Yeah, the crazy thing is that again with the Philadelphia Eagles, they were able to lock up both of their guys with a ton of money, and all these other teams are crying and complaining and want to, like Ayuk, they want to trade him, because they want to give that kind of money. But the Eagles somehow, some way, were able to work magic and pay AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. And every time I see this, it's just I get crazy when I sit there. It's like, how is they can afford these two guys? You got other people when they want to get paid, the first thing they want to do is they want to trade them. Like, you gotta go.
Yeah, because they got the same components that every other team have. They have, their quarterback is getting ready to get paid. He's going to get paid. McCaffrey, he got paid. Bosa, he got paid. And every team has a big defensive end that they're paying, quarterback that they're paying, wide receiver that they're paying. So yeah, they should be able to do that, man.
Yeah, but
we got a comment from Victor. How about the trouble reported in Philly like SAS last year? SAS? I don't know what Victor means.
The discord between Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, supposedly, because he's kind of on the hot seat. They're talking about that around here a lot. Since they got rid of, both coordinators are gone, and they brought in 2 new coordinators. So this year, that if he doesn't produce or they don't do what they think, he might be gone, Sirianni, because who else can you blame if you got rid of both coordinators and he's the last man standing? Even Big Dom is still there, but they got that's a big thing around here with the Eagles as far as Jalen, and they were saying something about where they were running some plays.
It was an ESPN story. There was a relationship issue between Sirianni and Hurts.
Yeah, because
a couple years ago.
Because Jalen wants more say so in the offense, and they said like one of the games that they wanted to run, he sent in a certain play and then he changes something else, and and ever since that it's kind of like a back and forth thing. But now since they got Kellen Moore, maybe maybe going to be more in line with this guy, but it's Nick Sirianni is the head guy. He's the guy. And my other thing is that did Harry Roseman, who's the GM, did he hire these guys? It's like, you know what? I'm going to go out and get the best offensive coordinator. I'm going to go get the best defensive coordinator. And that way, if this guy screws us up, he's gone. Not these two guys. You know, and it's just weird the whole way that went.
Mr. Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator, which I heard he's really good. So
And Fangio,
we'll see.
Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio. Old
Y'all
man
have-
Vic.
You guys can have him.
Yeah, like what I heard in Miami, he didn't get along because he was old school or something. Is that like what I've heard? Is that true, Kevin?
Yeah, he was old school, and he didn't blitz a lot. You know, his defenses were very vanilla, and at the end of the season, teams started taking advantage of that.
Yeah, but what's old school though? Because I'm one of those guys. What is old school?
Stay in your gap, stay in your lane, don't improvise, none of that. Hey, what we tell you to do, you do it, and that's it.
Yeah, that's old school. Yeah, that's old school. That sounds about right.
That's it. That's it.
But also he left because he wanted to go back to Philadelphia, which is where he's from, right?
Yeah, it's supposedly from this area somewhere up here.
Yeah, he was a good defensive coordinator for the Broncos. What do you say, Kevin?
No, I think his wife didn't like it down here either.
Oh,
Well, it's too hot. It's too hot, probably.
I'm sure they had a nice big old mansion.
I'm sure he
Too
did.
hot. You still got to go outside.
ACs.
It's still too hot. You got to go outside every now and then.
That is true.
He can afford rent like Brock Purdy.
Yeah, another guy waiting to get paid was Victor again. Yeah, he's making only $900. Well, was it $600 or $900,000 a year? But you know he can't afford to live in San Francisco. San Francisco's kind of expensive.
Very, very
It's not easy. And funny enough, they're not building homes there. Like whatever, it's what you see is what you get. So which with the whole Tyreek Hill, you know, right back to it. CD Lamb is still in the limbo. Byron, is Jerry Jones going to pay him?
No, I think he's getting fined now for not reporting to.
How much
camp.
a day? 50,000 a day?
Like 50,000. He's joining Hassan Reddick. There's the other guy with the Jets. Is getting paid $50,000 a day for not being at camp.
If you did that for a week, it's $500,000.
Yeah, and they're a little bit past the week. I think let's see, sit at home, get nothing, or go to camp and get paid. I'll worry about the contract later on. But yeah,
What do you think, Kevin?
Crazy.
Should CD Lamb get paid?
From his performance, yeah, he should get paid. But I don't like Byron said. I don't think Jerry Jones is going to pay him. I think they're going to trade him. They're probably going to trade him. Yeah, they're probably going to trade him.
Wow.
And get a haul. They'll get a haul if they trade him. They'll get a haul. Because you got Dak coming around the corner. Dak won like $60 million a year. That's going to eat up a lot of money.
Don't forget Parsons.
Parsons got to get paid. Oh,
I like Micah.
That's going to be a stupid, crazy contract.
Don't forget Trayvon Diggs.
He got to get paid. Yeah.
But
you get paid.
Which a week ago, Alex Quirk brought up something very, very interesting. They have let go big wide receivers in the past, like Des Bryant and Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
So they could do it again.
Yeah.
But he had 135 catches left. Who are you going to replace it with? You let 135 catches go. Who on that team right now?
He's a bad boy. I tell you.
I can't think of anyone, Byron.
No,
nobody. And I'm gonna say what I've been saying. Jerry Jones is gonna sell that team because he can't afford to pay all those guys. He's gonna have to pay Dak $60 million, Micah Parsons $40, Trayvon Diggs $30. He ain't paying all that money to these guys. Man, he's gonna sell that team for $15 billion to somebody.
I heard it was worth like $9 billion or something.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's the most. It's the
It's a team
highest,
it's like the most does like the most revenue. These sports team, the Yankees, Real Madrid, United, Man United, they're the number one, Kevin.
Yeah,
in the world.
Jeff Bezos is gonna buy that team. I'm throwing it out there from Amazon.
He can afford it.
Problem. That's like chump change to him.
That's Jeff Bezos for the Dallas Cowboys.
The name of the Amazon Cowboys.
Amazon
Victor loves talking about this money business situation. Like, He researched Jerry Jones Holdings last week. I didn't know he owned Frisco's, which I don't know what that is.
You know who? Briscoe.
Frisco's, I think he thinks it's a steak company, and I think it's a taco company, but I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
I wouldn't be surprised. They own a lot of stuff, but he's gonna have to start with the because with the I guess the estate portion of it. They have to sell it. Sell it.
I'm gonna start there.
Oh, Del Frisco.
Sell it.
Sell some pieces off, so it won't be a big tax hit for his family.
Kevin, who do you think will win the NFC East this year? Sorry. Go ahead, Byron. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say something stupid. Go ahead.
Probably going to be the Cowboys, I think.
The Cowboys?
I think the Eagles on paper.
I think the Eagles, they got more internal problems because, they went 10-1, right? And I think they lost the last 8 out of 9 or whatever.
They folded
that's a problem. That stuff just don't go away,
You think so?
Yeah. I don't think that stuff goes away,
And plus the Sirianni story came out this past week. Doesn't help. We got Victor Arocho joined us. But go ahead, Mr. Jones. What are your thoughts about Eagles? Do they have internal problems or no?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
We got Victor Arocho. Put your headset on. I think I hear some echoes.
Relax. I'm trying to figure this out on the phone with StreamYard.
Okay, go ahead, Byron. Your thoughts on the Eagles. Is Kevin right? Is there internal issues with the Eagles?
Well, people forget that Jason Kelce retired. That's a big hit, along the offensive line. He's the leader, on the
He's a tush-push leader.
Yeah, that too. And you have on the other side, you have Fletcher Cox, the defensive lineman. He retired too. So you got two guys that had.
Wow.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah, he retired. So you got two guys, with a lot of experience. Played in the Super Bowl that were basically the leaders, for the offense and defense on that team. So either somebody's going to step up, or the same mess that they had, toward the end of the last year is going to continue. They might still be a mess. And, Bill Belichick is sitting out there waiting for a job. And they were talking about it either today or today. What team do you think would he rather have? They threw the Giants out there and they fired Daboll. The Eagles, where he's close to 14 for that number with Don Shula, or go to the Giants and, take 2, 3, 4 years, however, rebuilding to get, to that record. And that's, a big thing with him. But that Eagle job is just, I'm sure he's just sitting there waiting for it.
Let's see if Victor is back on. Victor, you're back on? He's trying to figure out his audio. Yes, the Bill Belichick, I did hear that this morning on ESPN radio, actually. That makes sense. And even though Bill Belichick signed a contract with Omaha Productions, he'll be on the Manning cast.
Oh, boy, that should be interesting.
That should be interesting. I think he's the official third wheel. Like, he'll be on every week.
Bill Belichick. Well, they say he's a different kind of guy, away from football. They say he's kind of funny.
And he's dating a 24-year-old cheerleader.
And he's 70. I think he's 72.
71, 72. Hey, who's counting her at that time?
My man.
I know, right? My man.
She was a former Patriots cheerleader. Yes. Victor Arocho, welcome to the Jersey Boy Sportscast.
What's up, Vic?
It's not why when he hit my AirPods. Can you hear me okay?
Perfect.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Like wind.
All right. So here. Oh, okay. So here's because it's loud. Okay. So here's where I was bringing up with Philly that we heard the reports that last year Sirianni and Hurts weren't seeing eye to eye. And in fact, when Hurts threw an interception, it was a play that A.J. Brown said that they went off on their own. They weren't running the offense that Sirianni was running. Right. I remember last year, Byron, we kept saying something's funky in that locker room. Something's not going right. And nobody made a comment. Nobody didn't say anything. It took a year for that to come out.
Not even Eric talked about it.
Even Eric was like, no, everything's fine in the locker room. No. Now it's coming out.
Turn the switch.
Huh?
When's that switch turning on?
Oh, the switch. Yeah, the switch. But my point being is it came out that they ran up. There was a play in the playoffs where Hurts threw an interception, and they really went off script to the game plan. Meanwhile, Sirianni gets them all the way to the Super Bowl, and they almost almost win if it wasn't for that. But in the playoffs, we told you something was not right in the locker room, and something wasn't right with Jalen Hurts.
Mr. Jones?
Yeah, Victor's right. And the other thing that happened was when Big Dom got suspended for whatever he did on the sideline, hitting that player, that the wheels kind of fell off the wagon right about then too. And how much influence is this one guy that's supposed to be like a security guy slash enforcer slash whatever he is, that once he was taken off the field, a lot of things just went crazy with them. The last 6 or 7 games, it was just weird that that one guy that's really not a coach, had that kind of effect, on the team.
Yeah. Well, I think it was bigger that the coach and the quarterback weren't in sync on the X's and O's. And when the receiver says that they called the play and they just changed it in the huddle with no regret, no regards to what the coverage was, and you end up throwing an interception, that's a problem.
Yeah, disaster right now.
Yeah, but how many times did we see last year when the Eagles were playing that? All right, when in doubt, chuck it up to AJ Brown. How many times did that happen where he ran around a little bit? He wasn't looking for anybody else, and he would chuck it out there to AJ Brown. He did that. I can't tell you how many times that he did that. AJ Brown.
That's not a game plan.
No, AJ Brown is his comfort zone. You got the other guy on the other side is just as good, even better than he is, Devontae Smith. The guy was a Heisman Trophy winner, and he got 1,000 yards, but he should have been targeted now more. They're still looking for that third guy, the receiver, because I think they signed Paris Campbell that we had at the Giants and stuff as the third guy. They're trying to work through things, but a lot of that stuff that was going on. When in doubt, AJ Brown, just chuck it up 50 yards down the field. They did that a lot. If you sit there and look at it, you'll see how many times they did it. It was quite often.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin, welcome to the show also, Kevin. Nice to see you.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, but the other thing is, though, but what was weird, Byron, with that, though, they went heavy to A.J. Brown in the beginning of the season. Remember? That we were saying, oh, well, if it's working, keep doing it. I'm like, dude, there's going to be a point. They're going to shut that down. You can't just do it. Half the season, they went to A.J. Brown, kept going to A.J. Brown. They still were aggressively. And then the second half of the season, they kind of went away from him. So either teams were shutting them down or they just went away from him. I guess my only point was it took a year for it to be uncovered what we stated last year on the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, that something was wrong in that locker room because they were way too good of a team on paper to be playing so terrible.
Losing against the Bucs. But let me ask you this. Will this roll over to this year? Now they have Kellen Moore as the coordinator. Is this going to roll over, or you think things will start to be fixing a bit?
If you ask me, I think there's a problem between the coach and the quarterback.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you just can get over that easy, right? And remember, the person who's more on the hot seat is the coach, not the quarterback. You're paying big bucks.
Yeah,
he's coaching for a contract this year.
They get rid of the coach before they get rid of star player.
Exactly. So you got a problem, and Jalen knows that. So that's my opinion. What do you think, Kevin?
I agree with you because you see it in I say basketball that I follow, basketball and football. You see that when a star player is not happy with their coach has got to go.
LeBron James.
I don't want to say it, but yeah.
Team USA.
The only one he couldn't I guess try to put that influence on is the Don Pat Riley. Pat Riley say, "Look at man, your friends can't go on the airplane. That's it. Done deal."
Well, that's why he got out of Dodge.
Exactly.
Mr. Jones, you think it'll roll over to this year for the Eagles, or you think things will clear out with Kellen Moore?
Okay, my question is, here we go. Kevin Moore's history, Kellen Moore's history when he was in Dallas. They ran the ball a lot because they had, Ezekiel Elliott back, his prime. They had him back there running the ball, and they would occasionally, go deep, to whatever receiver they had or tight end at that time. And if they go back to that Kellen Moore where you got Saquon Barkley, some sad to say. Got him back there running the ball, and the other backs that they have the ball, and spread the wealth. Don't run him into the ground like they did, Ezekiel Elliott. Throw the ball to those tight, the receivers that they have, and if he goes back to that Kellen Moore, where the passing game and the running game is complementary, they're going to be successful. But if they go to the other Kellen Moore that wants to throw the ball 50 times a game, then it's going to be a problem.
Interesting. A lot to say about the Eagles. This news still brewing. We'll see what happens. Saquon Barkley, great running back. He's in the play. But yeah, as Byron said, are they going to throw more? Are they going to go 50-50 throwing and running? We don't know. New coordinator, things like that.
Keep it balanced. Keep them off take them off got to be unpredictable.
Yeah.
You can't just say, because I remember back in the day, man, the Dolphins, it's like, I've been a season ticket holder for probably about 12, 13 years. We knew the first play of the game going to be a run. They don't care. They got 19 in the box. They're going to run it.
Well, there you have it. Preseason drama still going on. I do want to cover this. Brandon Ayuk, the rumors of him getting traded, getting stronger earlier in the week, or earlier a week ago, he was rumored to go to the Patriots and the Browns. That is actually going to be scrapped out, at least for the Patriots. Now the Steelers are in the running. They're interested in getting Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk wants to get out of San Francisco if he doesn't get paid. Mr. Jones, is Ayuk going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler this season?
No. Because what do you got to give up? You got to give up something. What are you going to give up? A first-round pick. They're probably going to want a receiver, Pickens, with the Steelers. With the Steelers now, because he's on a rookie contract. Perkins, he would want that, and whatever else they're going to throw on. I don't know. Ayuk was a great running. He's a great wide receiver, but for some reason he don't seem like the true number one guy, because he's not a big guy, and he
was number 2 in San Francisco.
Yeah, and he just why are you going to pay him straight to Pittsburgh and then pay him $30 million a year send him to Pittsburgh? It doesn't make sense. Well, sense for them, but I wouldn't give him $30 million because he's just not a number one guy to me.
Kevin, Coach Mike Tomlin, do you think he wants Brandon Ayuk with the Steelers to improve that offense with Russell Wilson?
I'm like Byron. I don't, he hasn't put up. I think this is his first year where he's had a breakout season, so he hasn't really. Doesn't have the he's on a rookie deal. I think he didn't come out the gate, like I would say, our guy. I forgot his name, but no, I don't think he deserves that type of money. He's not in that league, not yet anyway. And I think if he does get paid, I think he's going to probably fall off.
Yeah. Obviously Pittsburgh is one of the main teams. The Patriots and Browns were. I think the Browns also were heavily interested. That I think they were going to give up Amari Cooper and someone else for him. So, but will that be a big loss for San Francisco? Or
I think I'm going to go opposite. I think Steelers are getting them. I don't think Tomlin gets in the race to lose. I think that's the piece they need. He's going to have a young quarterback in the future in Justin Fields. He's interested in playing. Okay, and his numbers, he's putting up. He's averaged 17 yards a carry last year, a touch last year. He averaged 13 the year before that. He's just getting better and better every year. Why is it not?
We just lost you, Vic. Vic probably got into the elevator.
And remember, we said in the earlier of the year, because of the contracts, the deals that they made with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, they got money to go get a receiver. I was waiting for them to figure out where they're going to go get a receiver at. Brandon Ayuk is a good fit for Pittsburgh.
Good fit. Will that be enough to win the AFC North, or Ravens still has that locked?
I think that puts them in the running. You get a Brandon Ayuk. You got all the bits. They got good running back. They got good defense. They got two legitimate quarterbacks with depth. They haven't had a decent quarterback since Ben. We've talked about that already, right? So it gives them. I think it gives them a shot. And I wouldn't put anything past Tomlin. Tomlin's a great coach.
Victor, what week you'll see Fields starting?
Unless Russell Wilson messes up, he's not. He's not gonna start. It's Russell Wilson's job to lose.
Yeah.
Mr. Jones?
Russ got a little left in him.
They brought him in there to play Russell Williams, so I think Wilson. So yeah, he's going to be the starter. He's going to be the guy. Tomlin's not that kind of guy. To go back. You're going to be the starting quarterback. That he promised him he's going to be the quarterback or whatever. I don't think Tomlin's going to go back on his word unless he's playing bad. Then everything changes. Then
It's his job to lose.
Yep.
Yeah. He did it last year with Rudolph. I know he switched around with another quarterback.
Yeah, but when you had lousy quarterbacks, you got to figure it out, right? But remember, Tomlin stuck it out with Ben when everyone was giving Ben a lot of crap too.
Ben won 2 Super Bowls, so that has a lot to do with it.
I get it, but when Dave Brand was breaking down, people were hounding him and everything. All I'm saying is, like we said, Tomlin stuck to his guns. You know what I mean? And you're right. He won 2 Super Bowls. I'm just saying to you, I don't think he made a deal. He's a man of honor. He made a deal with Tomlin. He's there to win. And then Russell Wilson's got to play well. You know what I mean? I think they're going to put some packages, something for Justin Fields to get a feel, but it's Russell's job to lose. And hey, look, I'm rooting for Russell Wilson. Like Kevin said, I think he has enough in him. This is his redeem year, right? His redemption year for going through all that crap with Sean Payton
and the Broncos.
I think Mike Tomlin is an excellent coach. He didn't have much last year, and he just willed that team put everybody in the right positions to win.
He hasn't had much for several years, dude.
Yeah. Give him some talent, and it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, they're a receiver away from being a pretty good contender, man.
They got Pickens is a good receiver for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's my point. You add Brandon Ayuk with Pickens, you got some problems.
But for them to get IOE, they're going to have to give up something.
You have to lose Pickens, right?
No, they're not going to lose Pickens, but they got money, they got cap, and they got stuff to give up. They're in a position to build a decent future. They want to win a Super Bowl now. They're getting tired of having winning seasons and not going deep in the playoffs.
Unless they play the Dolphins in the first round.
Hey.
Okay, Kevin, are you happy with Tua's contract?
Yeah, I'm happy. Like I said earlier, I want all these guys to get paid.
I want to get paid.
We didn't. We didn't beat good teams last year. That's a fact.
Oh my God!
You're the first Dolphin fan to say that.
You're my favorite guest right now.
All the Dolphin fans have been on this show. Dude, does not admit that.
Can you say that one more time?
Look at all the good teams. We didn't beat good teams last year. I think we won.
Consider the Broncos are over 500 teams. Some Dolphin fans.
I'm sorry, my phone's breaking up. Can you say that again?
I'm a diehard Dolphin fan. But I know reality too.
You're a good man. I have nothing but respect for you.
But they handled business against the bad teams, and they didn't handle business against the good teams.
Byron, pick me off the floor.
Yeah,
don't take this.
That's definitely that moment.
And Kevin, go ahead, Kevin.
Kevin, you're gonna have to do a Byron. Pull the tape. I don't remember saying that.
That's right.
No, I'm a diehard Dolphin fan. I know that that's the facts. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They have to beat the good teams as well as the teams they're supposed to beat. That's period. When they get in the playoffs, and if you realize we were one game away from playing a home game instead of going to a negative whatever it was in Kansas City. When we lost to Tennessee, the Titans, that one game. And that's the one
Wasn't
game.
Tannehill? No, Tannehill was not playing that game.
Huh?
Tannehill was not playing that game. It was the other guy.
Oh, he sure wasn't. That was the other guy, Levi, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'd like to see you guys get tight end action in this year.
What I'm saying? Say again.
I would like to see you guys involve the tight ends a little bit more this year.
I would like to see them slow it down a little bit instead of trying to score in the first 10 seconds. Slow it down. Let's be methodical. Let's not try to always go for the big play. Let's wear teams down. That's what I'm looking for this year.
Yeah, but it also hurts you. As much as defensive players, Byron and I, we want offense, right?
Yeah.
But man, if you score so fast and we got to keep getting out on the field, it tires us out. It's not just as bad, but it's pretty close to tiring you out when your offense can't produce it. You know what I mean? So if you score so fast and we got to get out there, you know what I mean? It's tiring.
Yeah. I mean, then they get to the point where they stop. They start stopping you. Now it's like, okay, now they 3 and outs. We just was scoring a lot. It was almost like a 3 and out. Now we're really doing 3 and outs. So we're on the field even more.
Yeah.
Who do you think will win the AFC East this year, Kevin?
Me?
Yeah. You're being honest tonight. So
the Miami Dolphins.
Victor and Byron are saying the Jets.
Yeah. Miami Dolphins.
Well, if I was Kevin and that was my team, I'd pick them too, because there's no reason why they couldn't, right? It's like the years that I picked the Giants to win it, I had nothing to lose when the whole NFC East was terrible. I can't do that now. But not that the AFC East is terrible, but it's up for grabs. I mean,
it's competitive.
I'm picking the Jets because they're putting the pieces, and you got Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron
Jones is coming, I heard.
Aaron Rodgers that is there, but there was no reason why the Dolphins didn't win the conference last year either.
Yeah, we should have.
Right. So I mean, I think they can do it, but I just if you gotta pick a team, you gotta pick a team. But there's no reason why a Dolphin fan shouldn't pick it. There's no reason why. In other words, I can legitimately say that unless something surprises us, the Giants aren't going to win the NFC East. You know what I mean? You can't say that about the Dolphins. The Dolphins are in the running to win that AFC East.
Yeah.
Yes. Aaron Rodgers is a fraud.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow.
Dude, he's 40-something years old, man.
And he hasn't showed up to OTAs.
Telling you, man.
He's in Australia.
Well, he did get back with his family. Well, his dad, he saw his dad at some outing and stuff. He said he hadn't talked to his father like 9 years.
Oh,
wow.
Good.
Yeah. So,
That's
he
terrible.
saw him, whatever outing it was, and, they, hugged it out. Hey, I miss you. I love you. That kind of thing. So at least,
that's good.
Hopefully, his family, his life a little bit better.
That's a wasted 9 years you'll never get back. That's sad.
That's wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
True.
That's very true.
No, because I tell people all the time, with that, as far as, you get one mother, you get one father, and you should enjoy them while they're here, because they're not going to be here, forever.
100%.
Yeah, don't miss me when I'm gone. Miss me while I'm here.
Yep.
Anyways, we're going towards the end of the show. Victor, do you have anything else to say? Anything you have in your mind? Anything in sports or anything?
Well, I had a scare. First of all, thank you, Santiago, and the producer and head of Sportscast for filling in for me. But man, we had a scare today in the Olympic basketball.
Serbia, Jokic.
I mean, that was crazy. And look, Byron and I was arguing with some guys about Joel Embiid. He goes, "Oh, would you take him on your team?" I don't like him. I think he's lazy. Now, he put up some points when we needed, but did you see the lack of offensive rebounds that he gave up that gave Serbia the extra points?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end, he literally didn't box these guys out, and they scored must have been 6 or 7 points. We could have taken over the lead right then and there. Now, he put up some key points for us, but he also cost us defensive points. And why do you have him in there, a big guy like that? Isn't it to get offensive rebounds? I mean, defensive rebounds?
Both.
And, I'm happy for Steph Curry. He finally had a blowout game. So that was a close game, man. That was scary. And what I'll leave you with this. I know we're ending the show, but what do you think about Draymond's comments that this dream team is better? This team is better than the dream team, and they would beat the dream team 5 out of 7.
Don't tell Byron that. Do not tell Byron that.
Man,
that's what Draymond Green said.
Man.
Are you? Listen to me. The Olympic team has to depend on a. You got as much as LeBron. I got my issue.
40-year-old.
I got nothing but respect for a guy his age, and that the Olympic team has to depend on his ability to do a double, triple to win.
And an old Steph Curry too.
But with Steph Curry. But I'm just saying LeBron has to pull him out almost in every game, right? And so that's what Draymond said. What are your thoughts on that, Byron? I can't believe he said that.
Man, he done lost. He done fell and bumped his head, man.
Again,
that dream team won would have blew these guys out by about 40 points. Yeah. You have Jason Tatum, probably one of the best players in the world. This kid's not playing at all. What's up with that?
I think he's hurt.
Nah, Kerr's a great. Listen, they got a great coaching staff. You got Spo, you got Tyre, Ty Lue, you got Steve Kerr. I mean, that's a Hall of Fame. They are a great coach. He's just playing the odds. If you notice, we won the game. He didn't make a substitution in the last 7 minutes of that game. He found his crew and he left them in there. Right? So they did a good job. First of all, you got to admit that the international game players are a lot better than when the Dream Team played, right? Oh, yeah. There's like 4 NBA players now. There's 60 something. So it's a whole different ball game. That team brought it international and so forth. But when you're having Michael Jordan having an off Olympics and you're still winning, like I asked the guy that we were arguing today about, give me 2, because I disagree with Draymond. Give me 2 defenders. I'll ask you this, the panel, right? Give me 2 defenders on this team, the U.S. team, that is better. 2 defenders, just defense. And it kept going off on different things. 2 defenders that can out-defend better than Pippen and Jordan.
2 defenders that can outpace Pippen and Jordan.
That are better as defensive players than Pippen and Jordan.
No. That's a Kevin question.
Was it Gary Payton? What about Gary Payton? Was he on that team too?
I think so.
He might have been a sub.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
okay, but I'm just asking those 2. Forget about Gary Payton. That's a third. I think they have 2 guys on the team that they could get him even in that category.
I like that. That team was what it was called, the Dream Team. Man, you had everything on there. You know, centers, top,
Christian Laettner,
everything.
Christian Laettner.
They did have Christian Laettner. They had to bring a
obligated college player.
They could have brought Shaq instead. Why didn't they bring Shaq instead of that?
I think he was on the team, right?
No, Shaq wasn't on the team.
Was at LSU at that time? You think?
Yeah, Shaq wasn't in the. He was in the NBA then.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that's right. He got drafted in 93, 92.
Oh, okay.
He was the best player.
He wasn't Shaq yet.
No,
he was close though.
He was good in the, for college, wasn't he? Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah.
No, but remember, Laettner won the national championship. He was the player. You know, he
was the best player in college at the time.
Yeah, he was at that time. He was, and they had to bring that one college player. And you know, even when they had in the documentary, he didn't even play in the scrimmage.
He was picked on too.
But there's no way that these guys are arguing this team is better. This is not even close.
Not even close.
Jordan will find a way to win.
Oh, yeah. And we, you know, we're barely beating, you know, Sudan.
South Sudan. They're a good team. Sudan.
So I mean, I just wanted to see what you guys thought about that comment. Like, I think Draymond just does things to get attention.
He's trying to get a TV contract.
He just wants shot value
with Amazon.
Yeah.
We play France next. You think we'll beat them with Wemby?
Oh, I think they're going to come out a totally different team because of how close this game came.
Yeah, which they say Serbia is probably like our closest, like the hardest team of the whole tournament.
Yeah, but I think France has more NBA players.
Wow.
Canada had the most outside the U.S. and they did terrible.
Yeah, next door neighbors.
Yeah, but let me tell you, Embiid's going to be booed really bad in this France game.
Yeah, because he could have played for France or something.
Yeah, he has dual citizenship, and
or Cameroon too.
Well, he would have played for Cameroon if they had a team, but because he has dual citizenship, was what I told, would have given him the permission to play for the France basketball team. So he could play for U.S. or France. But he said he wanted to win a gold medal, so he's playing for the U.S.
Good idea.
You know, Snoop Dogg is in every game and he gets paid $50,000 by NBC.
To be at every Olympic game or every
game, every Olympic game.
So any sport?
Any sport, but I think he goes mostly to the basketball.
No, he's been at the volleyball. He's been at gymnastics. He's been at track. And he's been. I've seen him everywhere.
With Martha Stewart all dressed up.
He made a lot of money.
I do it too.
I think he's a good ambassador. He's been everybody likes him there.
Wow. Look real, man. He's the real. He doesn't. Yeah, he's the real deal. He's real.
Hey, what do you think about now? What do you think about Stephen A. Smith is mentioning that the U.S. even though the women's team is winning, they have the lowest attendance in the Olympic Games of watching viewership and attendance.
They should have brought Caitlin Clark, right, Kevin?
That was his argument.
Well, women's professional basketball is not where men's professional basketball is, globally.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be one of the problems. It's not as big and globally as it is, the men's basketball game.
Well, but that's what his argument was, why they should have brought Caitlin Clark to get more attention,
more ratings,
ratings.
Should be on the next one.
Do you know that her team, the Indiana Fever, which is not in the top rankings or anything, their average attendance is 4,000 tickets greater than every other team in the WNBA. 4,000.
Mm-hmm.
Hottest ticket in town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's home and away.
Mm-hmm.
The Indiana Fever.
Indiana Fever. So 4,000 times the multiple tickets is a lot, and their floor seats were going for like $100, $200. They're going for like $1,000. Wow.
Yeah, she's gonna change the game, in a good way. Because there's gonna be more players like her come along.
Yeah,
and that's just gonna make the league better.
Well, I think because there's more viewership, we're getting to see the other stars that are just as good, because I'm watching it a lot more because I do like watching Caitlin Clark, but I'm also super impressed with how they're shooting way more three. Like, I didn't notice before because there's more team and they were moving the ball around and so forth, but they shoot lights out from the three, all of them.
Yeah, they can shoot.
They can shoot. I mean, all the ladies. So I mean, like, I'm impressed. I mean, nothing. They're still pros. They're better than me, but I'm just saying that I'm watching the game and I'm seeing like Asia Wilson. I'm seeing some of the plays from a lot of these other players. What's her name?
Brianna Stewart.
Brianna Stewart is crazy, awesome, good. I knew that from Connecticut, but I wasn't really watching her as much as now. AJ Wilson, Anouk, the girl that won the MVP from the WNBA, that girl can play. She's doing drop back three, so it's given the better players that you didn't realize a lot more. I'm watching more of the players now. So I'm happy for the women because it stinks that they have to play outside of the country just to make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have to get it. It's like they got to constantly get more jobs because they're, Caitlin makes $73,000. That's her salary.
It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. They don't make no money.
She couldn't afford renting in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Well, with a $26 million Nike contract, she could afford it in San Francisco.
Yeah.
San Francisco again.
She has to She has to do the opposite of Shaq. She has to live off her WNBA money instead of her endorsements.
That's like Jason Tatum. He made a deal with his mom that he's only gonna live off his endorsements after signing almost a $400 million contract. That's a lot of savings.
Yeah, but she didn't know. They didn't know, when he first went in the league that he was gonna be, blow up like he did. So, yeah. So now his endorsement money far exceeds his NBA money. So
not now.
He's a smart kid though.
Not now though.
Well, as far as what, the endorsement money?
Yeah, he don't make $400 million in endorsement money.
That's true.
He make more than he make in the NBA.
No, not at that contract level. No, it's like a what is it? How many how many years Santiago?
Was it an 8-year contract he signed? Yeah, I think it was an 8-year contract. It was
8
massive.
years at $40 million. He ain't making that in
20 right there.
Yeah, I don't think Nike pays that much.
He ain't paying that. He ain't making that endorsement.
My bad. My bad.
Not even close, bro. Jordan does, but not him.
Jordan makes.
Well, there you have it.
All right. Thanks.
The Olympics. Victor's watching the Olympics, as far as we know. Byron is. I heard Kevin, you're watching the Olympics?
I watched some of the track and field.
Track and field's
I haven't
good.
been watching it. I haven't been watching much of it.
A Jersey girl won the 400.
Yeah,
the Jersey girl won the 400 meters.
Oh, her name.
Sydney McLaughlin Leveron.
Nice.
The 400.
Nice. I like the accent there.
She's from Union Catholic High School. That's where she ran track in high school.
They had a good football team. Didn't Ironhead Hayward go there? No, he went to Union.
He went to Passaic.
Passaic, that's it. Yeah. That's right.
And Noel Hiles won the other day. He had a good run, good sprint. So, well, there you have it. Jersey Boy Sports Talk. Victor Arocho, what is the best way to reach you online to ask you about if a rookie for the NFL, hey, Victor, where should I put this money in?
You come to VictorArocho.com, baby. VictorArocho.com will show you where to store your money so you could have legacy money for life.
There you go.
And you could be able to do, handle it. Kevin, what's the best way to reach you online if people want to buy a house in South Florida?
You can reach me on my email, Kevin Tyre, my full name, 1987@gmail.com.
And Mr. Jones, what's the best way to reach you if a parent wants you to coach their kid in football?
Don't. Just flat out, just don't. I got enough stuff to do.
Come on Thursdays.
Yeah, just show up on Thursday.
Well, there you have it. The Jersey Boy Sports today. Yes, he did coach and it rained and he showed up, Mr. Jones.
No, but what's his name on the screen? Because I can't see it.
A great depressed 70s fan.
Nick told you it's every year. That's how you get a hold of him. You got to figure out. You can't get a hold of him because he'll deny he was even on this video.
Absolutely.
Go to the tape.
Even the tape.
Well, there you have it. Jersey Boy Sports.
And Santiago, what are the other shows we have on the Sportscast Network?
It is the update on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 12 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, I don't have a show tomorrow. I'm working hard, but there you have it. So Jersey Boy Sports Talk, Mr. Jones, what time on Thursdays?
8 o'clock.
8 p.m.
There you go.
8 p.m. Eastern. There you have it.
All righty. Thank you.
And,
good night,
another one of the books. The Giants are winning 14-3 against Detroit on the preseason. A pivotal preseason game.
And has there been any fights yet?
No fights, but they've been fined $200,000, right, Byron?
Each team.
Oh my God. All right. Good night. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. Have a good one. Appreciate the invite.